We all have this fire inside us, a potential for greatness that God placed there. It's a spark that can ignite a powerful flame, driving us to achieve things we never thought possible. But sometimes, fear whispers doubts, making us question if we're good enough, strong enough, or brave enough to answer His call. These doubts can paralyze us, holding us back from the incredible journey that lies ahead. But here's the thing, God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the called. He sees our potential and knows our strengths. Even when we can't see them ourselves, He equips us, empowers us, and sets our hearts ablaze with a boldness that can only come from Him. This divine empowerment transforms our fears into courage and our doubts into unwavering faith. The Bible tells us to be strong and courageous. These words are not just a suggestion but a command to embrace the strength that God provides. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. His presence is a constant source of comfort and strength, guiding us through the storms of life. These aren't just nice words, they're a battle cry, an anthem for the journey of faith. They call us to rise above our fears and to stand firm in our beliefs. They remind us that we're not alone in this. We are part of a larger community of believers, all supporting and encouraging one another. We have a God who fights for us, walks beside us, and cheers us on every step of the way. His unwavering support is a beacon of hope and strength. So what does it mean to live a life of bold faith? It means embracing the unknown with confidence, knowing that God is with us. It's about stepping out of our comfort zones, trusting in God's promises, and saying yes to His plan even when it seems impossible. It's about believing that with God, all things are possible. It's about letting go of our fears and insecurities and embracing the adventure that awaits us when we choose to follow Him wholeheartedly. Together, we can face any challenge and overcome any obstacle, knowing that our faith will guide us through. Think about the Apostle Paul. He faced persecution, imprisonment, and countless challenges, yet his faith never wavered. Despite the hardships, he remained steadfast. Why? Because he knew that his strength came from God. He understood that his own power was limited, but God's power was infinite. He wrote, "I can do all this through Him who gives me strength." This wasn't just a statement, it was a declaration of his reliance on divine power. Paul understood that true boldness isn't about our own abilities. It's about tapping into the limitless power of God's grace. It's about recognizing that our courage comes from a higher source. When we place our faith in Him, His strength becomes ours. We are no longer relying on our own limited resources. We can face giants with courage, overcome obstacles with determination, and stand firm in the face of adversity, and share our faith with unwavering conviction. Our testimony becomes a beacon of hope for others. It's in those moments when we feel weak that God's power shines through most brightly. Our weaknesses become the canvas for His strength. Remember, God doesn't call us to live in fear. He calls us to live in freedom. Freedom from doubt, fear, and insecurity. He calls us to embrace the freedom that comes from faith, to live boldly and without hesitation. He wants us to experience the fullness of life that comes from walking confidently in His promises, to step out in faith, knowing that He is with us every step of the way. The Bible is filled with stories of ordinary people who did extraordinary things through the power of bold faith. These narratives are not just tales from the past. They are living testimonies of what can happen when faith meets action. Take David, a shepherd boy who faced down a giant with nothing but a slingshot and unwavering trust in God. His story teaches us that no challenge is too great when we rely on divine strength. Or Esther, a young woman who risked her life to save her people, boldly approaching the king despite the risk to herself. Her bravery shows us the power of standing up for what is right, even when the odds are against us. These stories remind us that God can use anyone, regardless of their background, past mistakes, or perceived limitations, to accomplish His purposes. It's a powerful reminder that our past does not define our future. When we choose to believe in Him and step out in faith, we become part of His grand story, and He can use our lives to impact the world around us. Each step of faith we take is a step towards fulfilling a greater purpose. Their stories are not just ancient history, they're timeless reminders of what's possible when we dare to believe. They bridge the gap between the past and the present, showing us that faith is always relevant. Their courage inspires us to step out of the shadows of doubt and into the light of God's promises. It encourages us to leave behind our fears and embrace the potential that faith unlocks. He's calling us to live lives of purpose, passion, and impact. By following these examples, we can transform our daily lives into extraordinary journeys of faith and influence.